I'm not political. Well, I'm a political genius, but I don't care much about your politics. I think children would run the world much better. Like when I saw that Russian guy pulling down the Ukrainian flag and all the Ukrainian guys all punching each other and fighting over flags and waving, I really just was revealed with the maturity of your global political schemes and people and personnel. Kids would be much better at running your world than all you greedy, stupid, sex-driven, materialistic, money-craving, monstrous grown-ups. Anyway, Sinn Féin are a terrorist organisation that became a political party. Because they weren't being treated with the validity of being a terrorist organisation. Not much has changed. They still are a political party with ideals, and you're not supposed to have exactly personal sentiments or ideals if you're a political party. You're meant to be paper pushers. You're meant to want to help people and help the polis. Help the people. Now they have ideals, like Hitler had ideals, you know what I mean? Very idealistic visions. They want 32 counties. Now, I've already made this in a video. If I was going to like conquest on Ireland because they said they had loads of stars, and then we realised like Vietnam and the Middle East had loads of stars, and we realised Ireland have loads of stars, and we go to conquest, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get the big scary IRA and Sinn Féin under your thumb, aren't you? Because they're going to be the most amount of trouble. Now you would do that if you're smart, but they just found me first. They wanted a finder's fee. They wanted their Judas finder's fee. Like Judas got handed his finder's fee and like he went and killed himself. The IRA and Sinn Féin found me and discovered me, and they wanted their finder's fee. And they didn't even want that, but they're not even ashamed. They're even working with these people. What I'm saying is Sinn Féin are working with very, very, very scary people from Florida. Very, very, very scary people from Florida. Okay, they're all being liberated like Liberia into kitty killing and cattle culling and cattle killing and committing to every single mistake in the book. Now, I just heard on a bus today, once again, I'm not political like in any way, but I heard the Sinn Féin are looking very good up the north these days. Ireland, under Higgins and Sinn Féin's influence, has been... Higgins is from Florida as well. And that happened after they discovered me. Higgins became president after they discovered me. And Higgins changed all your judicial system, and nobody in Ireland even batted an eyelid. They've even welcomed all their rich buddies from Miami and Florida, and they've brought all their Florida vice. All your kids are disappearing, all your schools are being harvested, everybody's living in spiritual dominion. They've interrupted or erased your Christianity completely by making you confess to them. You don't even realise, you oblivious Irish cattle, what you're doing. And I'm just saying, I don't like the North, but I do not want to see Sinn Féin getting any more powerful. They're using my name. And it said the anti-prophets will become very powerful and influential using the name of the beast. Okay, you don't know what they're doing, right? They used the National Directory in the Republic and loads of wank magic to get elected. It's called, they call it training or something. They use wank magic and the National Directories to influence the minds of people. They've got a lot of money now, so like even if you support Sinn Féin, they'll send you cash. I don't know if that's legal lobbying or whatever it is. They will just send you cash because they've got so much cash at the moment. I saw Jerry Adams in some court in Europe saying, "This is a robbery, this is theft. You robbed me, you gypsy, and you're trying to get what they robbed off you, and not you and me, they robbed off me. EU, royalty, Euro trash, the Vatican." And there's Jerry Adams, "This is a robbery. You're not even from this country. I'm a citizen of the Republic, and you cunts are robbing me, you northern fucking Nazis." And they're a northern Nazi party, a northern national party. Even just anyone like that shares their their idealistic views in the Republic, all these young lads that want 32 counties or nothing. If they get their 32 counties, it'll be 32 counties under Florida, okay? It's not Irish independence. It'll be 32 counties under the thumb of Florida, and that's what they want. And they want Sinn Féin to get their 32 counties. They want Sinn Féin to have lots of power in Ireland because they've got them under the thumb. If Sinn Féin knew anything about Illuminati or the Dulluminati, they're going to trick you into loads of prostitution. They're going to trick you into loads of murder. They're going to trick you into loads of weird gypsy rituals. They're going to record it, and they'll keep you under the thumb for the rest of your lives. If you knew anything about what you were dealing with, you've no idea about the people that you're dealing with. IRA, Sinn Féin, Paddy Mahan, the Mahan family, big fucking gangster family from Wexford, running around snitching out every other criminal in the country because they're the government criminals. They're the dirty fucking criminals at work, and they rat out everybody. And guess what? They can have the fruit of knowledge. They can elicit fruit of knowledge. They can learn anything, and they can know all the things they're not supposed to know about you. And they don't care. They're going to stuff their faces full of that forbidden fruit. So you just really don't know what you're dealing with in this country at the moment, Ireland. And it's really painful because nobody listened to me. I don't know what I saw in the news today. Something about a bouncy castle failure. And children were left shocked about the state of their bouncy castle. You have any idea? You're in your 8 or 9 of holy perdition, rooted in Ireland from Waterford back to Wicklow, and you're going on about bouncy castles. You're supporting this murderous monsters, and they are murderous. They tried to murder me. They blatantly tried to shoot me in the face and disembowel me. IRA, Sinn Féin, when you get a little bit of power, these boys, when they get a title, these are the most corrupt, serial-killing, murderous terrorists, and now they got a little bit of power and political agenda. They dressed their own boys up in Garda uniforms and tried to cut me open. You know, the Gardaí said there was a Garda sergeant there involved, and he probably was Sinn Féin as well. You don't know about Sinn Féin, okay? They have brothels, okay? There's 17 brothels in the Republic and 1 in Derry for themselves, okay? They let the women in these Catholic brothels get pregnant. They take the babies, they raise them as orphans, despite that their mouths are working in the brothels that they'll later work for when they grow up. Just ain't that. They probably ride their own mouths, but your country like Mary Lou has 12 of these orphans under her payroll. You pay for these orphans, these terrorists, these monster murderers that are spying on, they're spying on everyone in Waterford. This is how they fucking accidentally stumbled upon me, and it's the biggest fucking mistake they'll ever make. They're spying on me, an artist in his den, writing, and they were directly watching me while I was writing, and it had a massive consequence, didn't it, boys? Massive, massive consequences. Tongues of fire on their heads. You pay for these little orphan armies, and they get put in your post offices, they get put in tax offices, they get jobs in government, and it's a great thing for these orphans to have opportunities, and they just take every opportunity they get and they utilise it in their really crooked little gangstery ways. And you pay for that. You pay for their little orphan allowances. You pay for their education because they had such a hard life and such a hard upbringing with Gerry Adams raising them in a brothel, and they never had the opportunities. And they're going out running the brothels. They're educated in like cybercrime to exploit it. They're educated in accounting and accounting software to exploit it. I didn't even have the internet, and they were live direct watching my laptop while I was writing. Again, the biggest mistake they'll ever make in their lives. And they have a couple of pages of my writings, a couple of pages of aphorisms that you ran around the place using as like some sort of Bible. You were calling it some sort of Bible or scripture. It's not. It's like the Gospel of Thomas. Some gypsy ran around with the personal writings of Jesus and like delivered his word directly to people and had a lot of influence delivering his word. When the gospel truth was revealed, you explicitly gave every single wording and credit in red, pretty explicitly, just because you had to get that fucking explicit to your credit. So it's very problematic when people take my writings or take my teachings and take my ideas and use them for themselves and take the credit. I don't particularly care because I know God knows everything in the end, but it turns out God does care about this kind of stuff and really, really cares where due credit. North Korea give due credit. Lots of places, smart people. Karl Marx, you give credit where it's deserved. People aren't getting what they're deserved and people are getting ripped off, and it's very problematic under Christianity because you're all kind of like Jesus under Christianity and everybody's supposed to get due credit. So it's a very bad thing when people get ripped off in the world, Frankie. Now that's just about Sinn Féin. There's only one video to war in Ireland. Do not support Sinn Féin. Up the north, I don't know anything about northern politics. I know you have a democratic unionist party. That's not democratic. If you're a unionist party, you're a unionist party. You're not a democratic unionist party. You fucking moronic are you? Oh, the DUP, and the protocol. All I hear is, the protocol, Again, you're like penguins. Children would be much more efficient. I always said that about the North, actually, because, there's a lot of old men like, we'll never forget. This won't be over for 100 years till we're all dead and buried. Speed up the process, or just put some kids in charge that don't care about all your popsy fucking pomp and pride. So you're a mass Sinn Féin. You can all go to church. The reason you go to church is to hear the truth about a story, to give due credit, to hear his teachings, and to pay your respects to his friends and his family, and particularly his mother, that all got very harshly treated. At the moment, you're going to my church to spread lies about me, gossip about me, slander about me, false witnesses about me, to fornicate with my mother, to fornicate with my unlawful wife, to discredit me, to slander me, abuse me, to urinate on me, to sodomize me, rape me. It's a bit of a backwards church. Now, I want you all to go to church, boys. I want you all to go to church and do exactly what you're doing to me and do it to Jesus. And you're going to point to them, you're going to slag him, you're going to abuse him, you're a man, you're going to wank, and you're going to this, and you're going to compete, and you're going to do everything that you're doing, and you're going to do it. You have to do it. You may as well. You're doing it now, so you're going to do it in church. 6 million Jews went to gas chambers, for talking in church, for for talking in church, for making a couple of arrangements, for having a bit of gossip or chatter down the back of the church. 6 million Jews went to gas chambers. You have no idea what's in your future, boys. You think Sinn Féin have a future, and they don't even believe me when I tell them they are going to gas chambers. There's no way about it. They'll spread their scarletry. Every time they wash their scarlet hands, every time they shake another scarlet business hand deal, every time you will realise the ramifications of what these people have done, what they're still doing, and the ramifications it'll have on the world around you, and you will send them to gas chambers when you realise what's going on, the ramifications of the things they've done and the things that they can't be forgiven for. They will wish they were never been born. We could speed that process up now, couldn't we? And they don't believe me, but you are going to gas chambers. Save on the gas bill now for it's 6 million people all sitting around fornicating. As they're all teaching and spreading, and Damien's teaching them all, and they're leading the way for the Irish, and they're educating, and they're going around, we're prophets, we have visions, you have satanic effigies because you're not worthy of the temple, and we listen to the satanic effigies, and we know how to wank, and it has an effect, and you know what I mean, gas. This is just like Poland before the war, and Poland all thought it was something great. And then Russia and Germany kind of stepped in and was like, oh, Poland, you're not doing this. And they're like, you're just competing. You want to take it for yourselves. You're doing this yourselves. Like, no, actually, Germany in particular, we're going to kill everybody that's doing this. And we're going to kill everybody and stop this completely because it'll kill and destroy everything. So we may as well kill and destroy the people that are killing and destroying everything. And you'll realise they're not good people. That's why they have those satanic effigies of lustful, big, busty women and fornicating with wives and children and things you're not supposed to do. Because they weren't prepared for the temple. I was prepared on every single level and way for the temple. That's why it was received and gifted onto me, like Elijah or anyone. Because I was a good keykeeper. A ring bearer. Little fuzzy hobbit from the Shire. And none of you is ready. And that's why it's like, he doesn't see it. Oh, you don't see it. You don't see it. It's like, because I'm not tempted. Jesus wasn't tempted with women. He was slightly tempted by the entire fortune of John the Baptist. I mean, he didn't. He rejected it. None of you are rejecting and refraining. These are all queuing up and competing. It's the complete fucking opposite if you know how stupid and oblivious and backwards these are. Pick me, Dame. Oh, pick me. I'm perfect. I'm a perfect strawberry from Wexford. Pick me. You just have no idea. Well, you do. Sorry, it's like just Jesus said that. You have no idea. They have no idea. They're really stupid. They have no idea. Forgive them. God's like, okay, we'll give them 2,000 years. We'll give them some Gideons. We'll give them some Gospels. We'll give them the truth, and then we'll come back in 2,000 years and we'll see how they're doing then. And boom, you bitches were even worse than you were in the first place. Go get your shoe shining, kids.